Yo,
Hello.
happy Tuesday, my dude. We we were here yesterday to record the podcast,
And then I started crying.
and then I like to say we started creating. We cracked open an egg and we're like, let's make some fucking omelets, baby. So it was good to play music, to write music.
It was good because we haven't done that in a really long
time.
time. Literally since like July.
Yeah, for like what? That's 2 years ago.
It literally feels like
July
it
happens every year, and I'm like, yo.
It feels like it though.
Yeah, dude, too long, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's like weird to start a conversation with you because like I saw you yesterday.
Yeah, and then it's like there's nothing to talk about anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, I have nothing to say to you.
No,
I already cried everything yesterday.
You already took everything out of me.
Yeah. You were crying, by the way, because I kept making fun of you.
Yeah. And then I made you apologize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You brought in your brass knuckles.
My knife that's still in there.
Yeah, jeez, your butterfly knife where she like flips it in. Like, don't make me cut you, Richard. She talks like that when she wants to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me cut you. Okay, Jizzy.
Okay. I had a dream that Lin-Manuel Miranda, he was in the dream, and we were like, he wrote a play, and we were reading it, and it was like an Encanto, but it wasn't. And sorry, I'm just trying to process his dream. So it's like me and him are like on the floor in my bedroom. It's not weird.
Hey.
It doesn't get weird.
Hey.
It's just like he was like my theater teacher, and I had this one line that the viejita says. And I said it, and he was just like, no, I need you to act more like a viejita. And like he just kept pushing me to act like an old lady, and I couldn't, and I just kept laughing. And so he got tired.
It's the universe telling you to be grown.
Yeah. To be an old lady.
Yeah, stop playing around, dude. Be grown already.
Be like abuela.
Abuela. I have heard recently a poem that talks about gracefully surrendering the things of youth.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's why Lin Miranda was really upset at you. Manuel.
So
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel?
Yeah. You got to, man. You got to, like, remember that things are changing constantly.
Yeah, they are.
And they're never going to be the same again. But it's not, like, a bad thing.
I think that's the mistake we make. Like, at least that I make. Is just, like, I constantly think that change is a bad thing. So, like, instead of viewing it as just, like, oh, new things. Like, this is so cool and exciting. Yeah. And I'm just like, what?
No, that's exactly right. We have to remember that through change comes, beauty, new things. We get used to the old.
Yeah.
You know, I feel really bad when I hear people talk extremely nostalgic, you know, and they're like, oh, these were the best years of my life. And I'm like, damn, dude, okay. You claim that's you now.
That sucks. Yeah, that does suck. You know? You're right.
I wish I could be back in my college frat days. And I'm like, I feel you, dude. Like, yeah, it's fun to get fucked up and shit like that. But, you know, I think what you really miss is just like friendship.
Yeah.
Because in school, you're forced to be friends.
Yeah.
And I feel that, but like, you can still make friends if you have a community.
Yeah, damn, that's deep. Yeah, I was listening to this podcast on the way here, and they were saying like, because success and fulfillment are like two different things, right? Like success has a goal, and then you get there, and then you succeed. Yeah. But then fulfillment is different because it's long term, and in order to get fulfillment, there's like 3 steps, right? Like you have to, like 3 habit. Like mentality things that you have to ask yourself, and the first one is just like, are you viewing things as an end or a beginning? And that's like exactly what we're saying is just like, are we viewing things like our chapters in our lives as endings or as like beginnings to new chapters? Are we focusing too much on the end or the beginning?
Yeah. And I think if sometimes I can understand when someone is going through quote unquote an ending.
Yeah.
And then not giving it its proper due. And then before you know it, that part of your life is done.
Yeah.
And then I could understand like the remorse you feel of not and giving it its proper send-off.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we make transitions and we had no idea we even made a transition.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then you have to go back when you're already in the future. Like,
yeah.
know.
You start regretting it.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been there. I think I experienced that when I got married. Because I think I was so excited about being married that I was like, I didn't give my that single life that opportunity, or just to really process it and, you know, be thankful for it.
Yeah, I went through something similar too, because we both got married young. So I think that's like one thing when you're getting married young. And I this is what I say to like engaged couples that are young too. If they ask me, is just take it slow. Like, don't think that like you have to do it the next day, because it's like never gonna happen if you don't.
Yeah.
You know, like, just, yeah, exactly. Take the time to process what, like, the decision that you're making. Not because it's a bad decision. It's just like a change.
Right, exactly.
And you need to be ready for the change.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, it will take you by surprise one day. And all of a sudden you're going to be thinking about the things that you've lost rather than what you've gained.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sucks.
No, I've been
because
there.
your relationship doesn't deserve that.
No. It just introduces chaos to your relationship.
Yeah.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
This is a deep episode.
Yeah,
People
I know.
are gonna
We're like,
love this.
They're like, yo, there's no fucking jokes in this episode, dude.
You're like, they're like, so.
Bring back funny Richard.
No, but this is good.
Philosophy and understanding. Yeah, you said, you know, what is it? It's self-actualization, right? Like that fulfillment that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the highest of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like number one is that self-actualization. And that takes time to get there. That's why it's all the way up top.
Yeah.
You know. And once you get it, it's there's a lot of longevity to it.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's also like having hope for something, or like having faith for like the next day, or like tomorrow, or like the next moment, you know? Because if you don't, that's sad.
Yeah, being pessimistic, dude.
Yeah, like that sucks, because then you're just living your life thinking that nothing good's gonna happen when like good things are just passing by you.
Or something that we both do sometimes is expecting the bad thing to eventually turn its ugly head.
Dude, yes. Yeah. I've been trying to exercise that, because it's happened to me where it's like, for the longest time it wouldn't happen to me, where I would think that the worst thing would happen and it actually wouldn't. But one time this past year, everything good was happening, and I was just like, man, when's the bad thing gonna happen? This is all good. And the bad thing actually did happen, you know? Like, I didn't know what it was, but there was a death in my family, and I was just like, fuck. Like, so it like confirmed that for me. And that was scary, because I was just like, okay, so like, you know, and like then my anxiety runs wild, because I'm just like, holy shit, like, did I make this happen with my mind? Like, am I just like looking for the next bad thing to happen, and that's why it happened? Or like, you start blaming yourself for things, right? Yeah. And so I think just like realizing like things out of your control are out of your control, but like you can't be thinking about what the worst thing is gonna happen all the time, you know?
No, you can't.
Sometimes you can, though, like you said yesterday, like to protect yourself, but not to just be doing it for things that are out of your control. You can't.
Yeah. There's a difference between like living in fear and then just being self-aware.
Exactly.
You know, like, you know, I grew up in the hood, and like, you know, I walk every day hoping that I don't get fucking shot, right? Yeah. But I'm aware that that's a reality. Yeah. Right? That's a reality, and that's something that I have to deal with. I don't let it torture me. Yeah. Because then I'll never go outside. Yeah. You know. That's rough, you know. That self-actualization is extremely important, and not embracing that fear, because that fear will always come. That negative thing will always rear its ugly head. It'll always be like, yo, what's up? And if you have been hyping it up all the way up until the point it gets there, then when it gets there, you're going to be like so burdened by it.
Yeah, just like paralyzed.
Versus if you already know that, okay, I'm prepared for it to come, if it does come, I don't know when, but it'll come. But then you just keep doing your thing and enjoying life, that when it does come, you can be like, okay, how do I deal with this? Yeah. Or how do I help? Mm-hmm. You know, because that's another mindset I think I have, because my father-in-law kind of said it succinctly. He's like, the older you get, the more tragedies you experience.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I was like, yeah, mathematically, that's exactly right. You know, like, yeah, the more years you live, the more opportunities you have to see horrible things.
Yeah.
But when those things do happen, you can step in a role that's extremely comforting.
Yeah.
Or the opposite, if it really does happen to you, then you just have to be prepared to receive a lot of love, which is sometimes hard for me because I feel like if something bad happens to me, I'm just like, no, let me disappear forever. You know?
Yeah, that's me too. Exactly.
I feel like a dog, you know, when like a dog is sick and they start going outside and making sure they die by themselves and they don't die with other people, and then they're like, where are you going? We love you. And I'm just like, Mark, oh, don't look at me. I want to die out here alone. It's so sad.
It is really sad, but
yeah, man. I think dogs do that because of altruism. I think they just know that they don't want to like bring disease into the camp, so they get themselves out. Yep. Days of good boys.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so nice, but that's also really sad, you know.
Yeah.
But, oh.
I want a dog so bad.
I know. I'm gonna give Richard one of my dogs. One of Nairobi's puppies. She's gonna have puppies.
This is my new child.
Yeah, you're gonna love Nairobi's.
I'm gonna always have it on my shoulder. Always.
A big old fat dog. I mean.
Bar. Yeah. Bar. Yeah. I'm gonna call him Nip Nip. And I was like, Nip Nip, you want a cookie? And he's gonna be like, bar.
Yeah.
And then him and Renato will talk. Because Renato will go up to him and go, duh. And he'll go, bar. God, I think it'd be a kid's show. God, I think Renato would be so happy to have a little dog with him.
I think so too.
To grow up with a dog.
Rocio, is she allergic to like the
Gander.
fur of certain dogs?
Well, that's the thing. That's why we want to make sure we bring her, see what's up. Because I know that we had a not a border collie. We had a corgi, and that fucked her up. And then we've gone to other places where it's not as bad. And then she's always seeing like my compadre's dog.
Yeah.
And my compadre has like a mastiff, a big old mastiff.
Yeah.
And so that's also like shorter hair, like your like Nairobi, right? Like a short hair. And so that, I think that might be helpful.
Yeah, because I don't know if mastiffs, if they shed or not. Nairobi sheds a little bit, so I don't know if that.
Yeah, they shed like short hairs.
Okay, yeah. So same with Nairobi.
But like corgis have longer hair, and they shed like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the whole house was covered in fur. People are like, nice carpet, and I'm like, thank you. It's dog hair.
We made it out of dog.
We made it out of dog. Gosh, man.
That's so funny.
We had to get rid of that corgi because Rocio was allergic.
I know, that sucks.
I miss that dog so much.
Are corgis not hypoallergenic?
No, they are
They're
hyperallergenic. Yes. Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. I know there's like certain dogs that are, but I don't know what kind. Like, what kind of dogs are hypoallergenic?
Would you sell drugs to save your family?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, not even probably. I would.
Yeah. And like save your family, meaning like, take care of them. Like, for example, God forbid. Like saying you're growing up, you're a teenager, and your parents aren't around.
Yeah. Your
little brother and little sister need school supplies. Would you sell drugs for them?
Yeah, I would. I would.
Yeah, there's no question, right?
Yeah, I would. I would sell drugs. I think because that's the easiest option and the fastest way to make money without having to do anything. You know, really. I mean, you do stuff, but you don't.
That's wild, man.
You're not. You're not working per hour. You're just.
I had a friend of mine tell me, because he was selling drugs all throughout high school, like selling like heroin and crack. And he was so upset. He's a grown man now, but he's just kind of like talking about how upset he felt that the people at school wouldn't tell him anything. He'd be showing up to school with like nice ass fucking clothes, and they would all be like hyping him up as opposed to seeing through his bullshit.
Yeah, like where did you get that?
Yeah, exactly. And because that would have saved him from that life. you know.
That's like a different perspective.
It's a very different perspective, because he was doing what he thought was right, you know, which at the time, you know, you had to take care of what you had to take care of. But like, you know, there's responsibilities that we have as adults to like take someone aside and be like, yo, where are you getting the money from?
Yeah, and like guide them out.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm like, dude, you can't be selling drugs and making hundreds of dollars here. I'm going to get you a nice job at McDonald's where you will work many hours
for $10 an hour.
For nothing at all. Welcome to America. Yeah, I'm just like, how do I convince a kid? Especially if you're making that kind of money, bro.
Honestly, yeah, that's hard. It's hard.
Man.
It's hard, but it's like another one of those talks where it's just like, you can have all the money in the world, but it's not gonna necessarily give you the life. It can give you the life that you want, I guess, materialistically, but like, it will never fulfill you in that way. But I think it's difficult when it does,
because it's high risk.
Yeah, and when it does fulfill you, especially when you're young, because kind of does, you know, it gives you like that little dopamine.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. What was the most fulfilling job you've ever done?
Most fulfilling job I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like actual like labor job, like hourly job.
Yeah. Let's say like outside of your art and your profession, what would you say? Like you've worked and you're like, this was actually very fulfilling. You're like, obviously you had to go, but
yeah.
While I was here, I really enjoyed it.
I think Starbucks and working at the taqueria, because they were similar in ways. So Starbucks, I stayed there for a while. I stayed there for like 2 years. So that will tell you that I really enjoyed it, you know, because I rarely stay at a job for like more than a year.
And you've only been an adult for like what, 4 years, you know?
I've had like 7 jobs in like 4 years. I leave jobs very fast and I do not care. I'm like, peace. No, but Starbucks was very fulfilling in that like there was always, it's a great company, not gonna lie. Like they take care of their employees. I think when you're working there, you feel like you're not taken care of because it's always like the customer has to be satisfied, and sometimes they're not, and it can be really frustrating. But I'm not gonna lie, the company does take care of their employees really well. When COVID hit, we had the choice of whether to stay home or to work, and they still would pay us the average paycheck for the month or two that we didn't want to work, right? So like they took care of us, and they gave us good benefits. They gave us even like behavioral health, like how do I say it? Like therapy for free, that if we wanted to do it.
The program was called Coffee for Crazies.
And so it was a really good company in that way, and I really enjoyed working for them. They always had events and they always had things like to make you grow as like a person and to help people. I also really liked the job, like the physical job of it. Like you always
up on your feet.
Yeah, you always left feeling like, oh, I did a good job today, you know. And then making drinks, like like you love making, like I love making drinks.
It's a little art.
It's hard though. It's hard when it's like happy hour or whatever, because like people want their drinks super fast, but they order like 12 frappuccinos. So it's like, girl, I can't make it in two seconds. Like I have 2 hands. But other than that, like on regular days, like it's really fulfilling, like to see people like drink their coffee, because that's honestly a big part of people's day.
Yeah,
it's such a big part of people's day.
Yeah, like, I'm thirsty as fuck for some coffee right now.
Yeah, like it's such a big part of people's day. You literally, like, I know that companies or whatever, like the coffee shops that you work for will tell you that, like, and maybe you think it's just for them to make you feel special, but no, you really are a big part of somebody's day. You're somebody's morning. So like it's like a big responsibility in that way, but it's also just like so nice to be able to like be like, oh, I know this person's order, and then they come through the drive-thru and they're just so happy to get their order and just leave, you know. So that was really fulfilling for me, that job. And also the people that I worked with were really fun. Like every single day was super fun, especially closing, because like the manager wasn't there anymore, so we don't
you get rowdy. Yeah.
And then for the taqueria, it was like the same thing in terms of like the family environment. Like the people that I worked with, like we could joke around, and we had, obviously we're all like Mexican, so we all had the same culture, so the jokes were like, you know, like I don't know how to explain it. I could make different jokes that would that they would understand.
Yeah, inside jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, it was really nice in that way, and it wasn't because COVID and like the restaurant business was like really bad during that time. There wasn't a lot of work, so we were mostly just like chilling and like, you know, eating tacos and like making licuados.
Wonderful.
So good. But yeah, serving people is nice too. Like I hate waitressing, but like le echo ganas. If I'm there, I try to do my best to serve people. So I really enjoyed it, like serving people when I was serving them. But I would not choose to do it for the rest of my life. Waitressing is fucking hard, bro.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could put on a fake face for that many times in a row.
Yeah, no. And especially when it's like when you're, I don't know, for me as a woman, when I'm going to serve all men, I feel very self-conscious.
Because they're checking you out?
Yeah, because I'm just like, which one of them is going to like make a weird joke or like a flirty joke or like.
I got a taco for you.
Literally. And they're like all old men. And I'm just like, no, I don't want your money. I don't want your sugar daddy money. I don't want you. Leave me alone. Just eat your tacos. Put your little dentures back in. No, but what was your most fulfilling job?
I was in a group of older guys, and we would go to taquerias and pick up waitresses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they paid me to do that. Just kidding. No.
Okay,
no,
I'm like,
no,
really?
No.
No, because in Mexico, like, we would do, like, I mean.
What?
No.
You?
No.
What were you doing?
No, my grandpa has a restaurant. And me and my cousin would go and pick up, like, the turnos. Like, we'd go pick up, like, the waitresses for their different shifts. Like, so we'd, like, give them a ride. So, like, my cousin got paid to do that. Like, literally. So, that's why I was like, what?
When I said picking, that's how I know you're innocent. Because I meant picking up chicks as in, like, picking up, you know, like, scoring.
Oh, okay.
Not literally picking them up. I'm not a bus.
I'm no Uber.
Yeah.
The fuck?
The fuck? I think some of the most fulfilling jobs, I really did enjoy being a Lyft driver.
Yeah?
I was a Lyft driver actually, I was working 3 jobs at that time. I was bartending, I was a Lyft driver.
Damn.
And I was dog walking. I was doing all 3 of those. Just 3 part-times, just like fucking cranking it out.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, to support my family.
Wow, that's so good.
And so when I was doing Lyft, I really enjoyed it because I learned that there were so many people out in the world, and we all wanted the same things. Different political beliefs, different understandings of how things work, but people wanted to belong and they wanted to be loved. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
You could talk to some white dude that came to visit his daughter that doesn't really want to talk to him anymore from Arizona, and he wanted the same thing that a black woman growing up in the city has always wanted. Like, it's just like tripped me out.
Yeah.
Tripped me out, you know. And I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I like
yeah, you I would love to have you as my like Lyft or Uber driver. Like that like, cause you're just like so homey. Like, you'd get in and like you're just like, you know.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable with you. You know, you're not like a weirdo guy.
Hey, you wanna listen to some music? I remember there was a time where I was feeling like really self-conscious about my conversational skills. And so every time I took an Uber, I would just sit in the front seat.
Oh, okay. To like force yourself to have a conversation? Or
to the person next to me, to the driver.
Yeah.
And I remember one guy in particular was really upset that I did that. He at first he was just like, he was like a big dude, you know, grew up in back of the yards. And he looked at me and he was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, what the fuck? You know, he was so mad. But then I was just started bullshitting, you know, we were just talking. And then he gave me all this insight on like how to buy properties. And, you know, because he basically what his job was he would go and evict people.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, when they didn't pay for their homes. And then with that insight, he was able to buy like ridiculously cheap properties.
That's
Some
insane.
Latino guy from back of the yards. Good guy. But like he just gave me the whole rundown. And that's because we were able to just get cool with each other.
Yeah.
You know.
That's so funny.
And I would say this job that I have right now as security guard is extremely fulfilling for me. Because I feel like I'm actually a part of the community. And I'm serving within the community, making sure that you know, boys and girls that grew up like me aren't lost.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of give them some insight to be a figure of just love and appreciation and respect.
Yeah, that's a really good job. I know, like, security guards think that I don't know, but I only had security guards in high school, but I've always felt like they were just kind of like, they really thought that they kind of had no purpose in our school, because, like, everybody would kind of just make fun of them and, like, just wouldn't, like, appreciate what they were doing. But they do make a difference, though. They do, because you see them, and, like, at least for me, it's like I say hi to them, and when they weren't there, like, I'd notice that they weren't there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I never told them that, but it's just like, yeah, people that do work in schools, like, really do make a difference, even if you're not necessarily, like, in the classroom with the child, if you're not a teacher.
And, you get involved as much as you want to get involved. You know what I mean? As a security guard.
Yeah.
Like, I make sure I say hi to all the kids that come in. And I find myself a lot of times being like this buffer between a child's misbehavior and their punishment. And, like, giving them an opportunity to kind of just, like, understand and articulate their thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, there's this kid who's got ADHD, and when I got there, he would get a 5-minute break every period. Right? He's a 6th grader, but he would take advantage of that. He'd be gone for like 15 minutes. And I remember when I was a tutor, and I would tutor 6th grade, I would see him running around the hallways. He was never a kid that I worked with, but I was just like, meet alone, and he would distract all the classes, right? And so when I became a security guard, I got to catch him in the hallway a couple times, and we just kind of talked about it. And he got in trouble, and he was really upset, but then kind of just, like, laying out reality to him and having a conversation, still establishing the rules. Like, he wanted to stay with me longer, but I'm like, no, Papa, it's been 5 minutes. You got to go back. Your break's over. But then eventually he was just engaged in the classroom, and he understood. And his sister told me yesterday, she was like, oh, Joshua, I'm sorry. Sergio. No, but it's like, oh, he was talking about you all morning. He's like, I hope Richard's there. And I'm like, okay, cool. You make an impact on a kid,
you do.
And the little kids too, man, because I'm there after school, right? I get out at 6:30. And what happens is sometimes you have parents that don't pick up their fucking kids on time.
My mom.
No. Okay, how late did your mom pick you up?
Sometimes it'd be like 30-40 minutes.
Okay, I got kids like an hour and a half.
No manches.
5:30.
That's insane.
When they get picked up. And so I get to know a lot of these kids.
No manches. Well, what do their parents do? Like, they just forget, or no? Or
no, sometimes like, communication is key, right? And sometimes I know, sometimes I know that, parents work and they're hustling, you know what I mean? And I'm there to accommodate, right? I'm there to help. I'm there to ensure them. Let's get your kid in an after school program, right? If you're going to always come in late. But I'm here.
Yeah.
Your kid's safe.
Yeah.
I get it, and I'm getting paid. I'm cool.
Yeah.
But then just some parents are just like, it's like, oh, I was just like, what? They got a million things to do and they don't tell nobody, which communication is key, man. Cause and I told this kid this the other day. He walked out of the classroom as 8th grader, and he was like upset. He's like, cause he wanted to work alone. And we've had talks, him and I, and people were like, oh, he's really responsive to you. But I was like, dude, communication, man. Because you communicating is a difference between you being perceived as someone that's disruptive and getting out of class and not listening versus someone that needs 5 minutes to step out, to refocus, and then get your work done. Right? Communication, man. And then he walked back into class. Like, whereas before people would have to not drag him, not physically, they wouldn't touch him, but like get this whole thing involved just to get him back into class. That's just interesting. Everyone's different.
It's so, but oftentimes I feel like kids aren't told that, though. Like,
no, they just want to be seen. They want to be understood.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like, so you did the job by like telling them, like, you can just communicate. You can just tell the teacher that you need, like, you're feeling overwhelmed and you need 5 minutes. But the thing is that like we're not taught that in school. We're not taught that. We're taught like you better raise your hand, and then if you need to go to the bathroom, like I can only tell you if you can go to the bathroom or not. And that's like, no, man. Some people like do feel overwhelmed. Like I can count the times, like I'm sorry, I can't even count the times on my hand like that I felt so overwhelmed in class and was so scared to say something because I'm just like, well, they're just gonna think I'm exaggerating, or they're gonna think I'm lying, or like I just want to be on my phone outside of class, when in reality it's like not that. It's like no, I'm just really overwhelmed and anxious, and I need to chill out and breathe, and I can't do that with like a bunch of kids sitting around me. You know.
In high school, I would have my teacher. I would tell her if I could stretch out. Can I stand up? And she'd let me. Yeah. You know, and that was really nice. That was also the teacher that wanted to fuck me, but she was very nice to me in class. Yeah. She's like, yeah, you bend down, touch your toes. I was like, okay. No. No. Oh no. Yeah, that woman wrote me a wonderful like a college letter. Aww. And I'd known her for like 2-3 weeks. Dude, Richard's so articulate and his lips so luscious. And I was like, what?
That's hilarious.
It's different when it's a woman. I'll tell you, so bro.
Funny.
It's different, bro.
And she was like younger, right? She was like, had just become a teacher.
Yeah, she was like 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was 18.
Yeah, that's
what's
like
4 years, dude?
Literally.
What's 4 years?
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And I think that as soon as I graduated, I became gross. I think she only wanted him young.
Ew.
I was like, hey, Miss Jones, how are you doing? She's like, ugh.
Oh.
I was like, no. She's like, you old raggedy bitch. And I was like, what?
You're the old raggedy bitch.
You too old for me. I'm like, Miss Jones.
Oh, man.
But sir.
Yeah, there were some classes in high school that I like loved. Like my Spanish class was always lit. Oh,
wonderful. Yeah, I had a really great Spanish class too, man.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun, just acting up, dude.
Yeah.
We were, my friend John and I, John Contreras, we were just like the funny kids in class, and we would just crack jokes to each other, and we would just die of laughter, singing songs and stuff. And Mr. Aviles was really sweet to us.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was really sweet to us. And we got our work done.
Was there ever teachers that you...
What was it? What happened? Okay, I remember. So here we were, John and I, right? We were in class. And we had all the Spanish-speaking countries listed. Mm-hmm. And we had to mark the country with the name. And there we were doing this thing. And for whatever reason, and he had one page with the names. I had the page with the picture. And it was a project we did as partners, right? And we were like, we're missing one. We need one more name, but we have all the names already crossed out. And we're just like looking.
Because there was one country left?
Yeah. Oh. And we're just like, where the hell did this name go? Right? And we're freaking out and we're just like looking. He's looking 1,000 times over, and I'm like looking, and I'm confused. And we just don't understand where this country went, right? Like, we're just like, where did this name? And everyone else is getting it right? It's like, we're just missing one, right? We're like, what is going on? And it's just because we misread it, and we accidentally crossed one we weren't supposed to. Oh. But in that moment of just, like boys, we're just talking about how we're just riffing on the idea that there's like some sort of black hole within the picture, and it absorbed the name, and now time is being destroyed as we know it. And
oh my god,
we're just cracking up, and we were just dying of laughter because of that. Oh man, we're just nerding out. I love this so much, dude.
That's so funny.
Those big laughs.
I love watching, like, for example, like, there's humor that guys have with each other that I just love to watch.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know what it is. It's just like Sebas' friends, when they're all together and they're like laughing and joking around with each other, I love it. Like, I love watching and laughing with them. I think they're the most funniest people ever.
But girls don't do that.
We do, but it's not as like funny. I don't know, or I don't know. I just feel like.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. It's not as funny. It's just like the way that guys, like, their brain works, like like. it's just like a bunch of desmadre in their brains that they're just like spitting out through their mouth.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's like the funniest thing ever. And I'm so entertained by that.
Mm-hmm.
So entertained by it. I love watching like guys just
have fun.
A couple
boys having fun, dude. It's just the boys having fun.
Honestly, like I could watch that for like days. I just like love watching guys joke around with each other because it's the funniest thing.
Yeah. Girls, when they joke around with each other, it's because they're making fun of somebody. And they're mean.
That's so true. Yeah.
Girls are mean.
Honestly.
I'm like, what are you girls talking about? And they're like, we're talking about some bitch we don't like.
The only person that I've had funny, like almost sort of, how do I say this? Like guy-like humor with is Melly. Me and Melly.
That's why you're friends.
Me and Melly are like, we can just laugh about anything and keep going and like make the joke keep going.
Just riff.
Going,
Yeah. Just
it's
riff.
Like the funniest thing ever.
Constantly.
So she's the only person that I've been able to do that with, and I think that's why we made such good roommates, because every single day was like a pendejada. It was just like every single day was just something.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. My siblings and I, we have that. We just joke and we'll never stop. We'll just crack jokes with each other until one of us gets our feelings hurt. That's okay.
One of us cries.
Most likely Patty, my sister.
Aww.
She's not a guy like me and my brother.
It's because guys like they take it far, man. You guys take it a little far.
We be roasting each other.
I know. Like some of the things I see in Sebastian's group chat, I'm like, you guys say that to each other? So I was just like, yeah, they know what I mean.
Dude, I went over to a friend's house, a couple from church, and one of them's, white guy from Wheaton, the sweetest heart, and his wife is a Latina from Little Village, right? So we get invited, and there's a bunch of couples that are there. And then I know her sense of humor because I grew up here as well. They're just roasting each other, right? So she's like, roasting her husband, and I'm roasting her back. And my wife is like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like fucking with the host. And I was just like, no, man. And she was loving it. Yeah. We were both so happy to be doing it because that's what it's about. Yeah. Especially, I think girls and guys are like that. And I had a girlfriend that got upset at me because I didn't make fun of her enough.
It's because it's like fun to make fun of each other. Oh my God, something so funny happened this morning. I forgot to tell you. I should have started with this. So I'm downstairs. I'm getting ready to leave, right? I have my backpack on and everything. And so the way my house is set up is like you go up the stairs, and to the left is the bathroom door. Okay. And then to the right is just the entire room. And so I thought Sebas was in the bathroom. And so I'm like telling him like, hey, just so you know, like at 6 I'm going to go with Melly. Like I need to talk to her about some stuff. And then he's just like, what? And so I go upstairs. I'm like facing the door to the bathroom, and I'm just like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm gonna go with Melly's because I need to talk to her about some stuff with her tia, whatever. And then he's like, órale, and I'm just like, why? Is there something wrong? Like, why are you responding to me like that? And he's like, why are you facing that way? He was on the bed the entire time. And I turned around and we just started cracking up. He's like, why are you facing the door? I'm like, you're always in the bathroom, so I just assumed you were in there taking a nice little poo-poo.
I just imagine him just sprawled on the bed.
That's exactly how he was. He's like, órale. Why? Why are you responding to me like that? Like, turn around.
It's only with your significant other can you just be so dumb. You know what I mean? Like just the.
I was like, please don't tell anybody else this, and here I am.
Yeah, telling the whole world. Oh, that's good. You control the narrative, girl.
Yeah. Exactly.
The next time you tell a story. So Sebas was like talking to me facing the bathroom. It's like, oh, that's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, couples, man. I miss my wife so much. We've been so busy. She's back at school, and I've been working, and she's been hustling. I've been doing my stuff. Yeah.
Isn't that so funny? Like, I tell Sebas this all the time. I was like, I miss you more now that we're married and we barely see each other than when we were, like, actually distant, like, physically distant. And I think it's because, like, when you're physically distant, you know you're distant. Because it's like, you know, you both are doing your own things, whatever. But when you live together, it's like you want to be together because you live together, but it can't always be that way because you're busy.
And I think the missed connections are like so difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, or like the potential of being able to see each other and then it not happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
you're
me duele.
Yeah.
Como me duele.
Yeah.
Como me duele.
Yeah, that's so true. Aw.
Yeah, we're just gonna cry for the next 5 minutes, just like
Crying break.
Yeah, crying break. We should start doing that. We should start in instituting that the crying break during the podcast. Crying break.
All right.
All right, everybody, take 5 minutes. We're gonna cry. We're gonna come right back after this message from our sponsors.
I think we should, like you said, we should start having people like call in, or like send like an email or something.
Let's reschedule it for let's schedule when we can be doing our podcast now.
Yeah.
Now that you have a different schedule and I have a different schedule.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just spend some time in the evenings. I think it'd be better. I think that's when more people can be engaged.
Yeah.
You know.
And they can call in and tell us their problems, and then we can be like, damn, bitch, you fucked up.
You fucked up, dude. I think we got to start focusing more on current events.
Yeah.
I think we got to really come in with like knowing like what the hell's going on with the world.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know. Do you want to make it light or do you want to get deep sometimes? Do you want to talk about the tragedies that happen around us?
I think it could be both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. I'm not very good with tragedies.
We're like, we find the comedy in tragedy. And people are like, that was tasteless and wrong.
Yeah, we're going to get canceled right away.
I wish we got canceled, dude.
No.
That'd be great.
Actually, it'd be good publicity.
Yeah.
It'd be good for us.
They shot the bird before it even left the nest, dude. I think it's supposed to be about just getting angry and getting people angry. I think we're supposed to be just spreading misinformation constantly.
Yeah. Like, just say something really stupid. Like that one guy that got, like, his podcast is, like, super popular. Well, actually, I'm not really. I didn't really look into it. I just know that there's this one guy that's being, like, roasted by all of TikTok because on his podcast, he was just like, if my wife gets pregnant afterwards, she needs to start, like, working out because I still want to be attracted to her and, like, all this stuff. Mm. And then, like, people heard that and then they were like, what the fuck? You're fucking crazy ass.
Who said that?
It was some guy. I don't know.
No, but I meant, like, and then people were disagreeing with him?
Yeah. So then, like, I guess he put it as, like, a TikTok clip and then people started duetting it and being like, what the? And so then, like, now women are like going up to their husbands and being like, hey, there's this guy on this podcast that said that he needs his wife to be fit right after pregnancy because, and then there's like, you know, the husbands respond are just like, no, like, that's not right, you know, and then they're just like, and then all the comments are just like, yeah, you made a right decision with your husband. I hate that so much. I hate when people are like that. We're like, wow, I can't wait to have a husband like yours someday. Like, it's so stupid.
It's bullshit because
so
every husband knows that. Patrice O'Neal said, "Guy truth hurts."
Yeah.
So every time a man says something, he hears it. It's in his brain, and then it has to circle down to his heart.
To his penis.
Edits it, and then he sends it out of his mouth because he can't just boop.
Yeah.
Don't you want me to be fit after I have the baby? And I'll be like, yes, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You know, do you want to be fit? Now, like, but no, you don't say that.
Yeah,
you say, no, baby.
You can look however you want.
You look however you want, girl. No, but the truth is, yeah, you guys got to be truthful to their wives.
Yeah, I think they were just, everybody was just like super like mad. But I just hate, I don't know why I hate this so much. When women are just like, babe, what do you think about this? And then like the guy says like the total opposite and like just,
and then they get mad at him?
No, but like the guy's just like, no, like a guy should never say that. Like, I'll still love you either way. And it's just like, ugh, that's so annoying. Like,
it's fake. It's all fabricated.
I know, it's so stupid. Like, I hate that. Like, no, like your guys is, no, I'm sorry. That
guys don't really think that way. They just bullshit.
They don't. Like, I think that's just, that's so stupid. Like, I hate that. I hate when like girls want their like husbands to seem like the sweetest guy in the entire world. I'm like, bro, that's not real life. Like, I like Sebas to be a little bit mean to me. I don't like. I would.
Not mean, but more like real. You want him to be real with you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be mean to you, like.
No, but I think I see it as mean sometimes. But it's real.
Yeah,
like, he's being honest.
Yeah.
But it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
But I like that. I'd rather that than like be delusional and like.
Yeah, you remind me of like Rocio when she's like, Gadi was being mean to me. I'm like, what did he do? He told me to leave him alone. Why did he tell you that? Because I was bothering him. And I was like,
That's literally
he
me.
wasn't being
Like
mean.
Sebas will just be like I'll be like touching it and he'll be like, can you stop? And I'll just be like, that was mean. He's like, I just don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I was like, so that means you don't like me anymore?
Yeah. So, you hate me?
It's literally me.
Yeah. Or just get really upset. Get really upset. Well, if you didn't want to be married to me, then you shouldn't have been with me. And then just
I
leave
do
the
the
house.
extreme. Like,
Hell yeah,
if
dude.
he doesn't like him like playing with his hair and stuff like that, then I'll just like go to the room and he's like, why are you all the way up there? I'm just like, you didn't want me to be by you.
Betsy and I will straight up like fight each other. We're really affectionate. Well, that's what I appreciate about my wife, because we're both affectionate people. Because I wouldn't know what to do if my wife wasn't affectionate. But sometimes, and this is something that we had to address the other day, I was feeling really down because something that I was really working hard on didn't work out. Right? I was like working on like some stuff in the house, like to fix it. And when I fail at something, I feel really bad about it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I wasn't working hard. We just couldn't do it. Right?
Yeah.
It just wasn't what was possible. And she was like, well, what do you want right now? I was like, well, I want you to hold me, obviously, but I don't want you to expect me to hold you back because I'm feeling terrible. I have no will to do anything. And that was wonderful because I was finally able to communicate that.
That's
Because
so
before,
nice.
years ago, that would be more like, well, why do you hate me? There's nothing wrong with what you did. I just feel bad,
Yeah.
And it was just this whole cycle.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah. I love when like I'm all sentimental and I'm crying and Sebas is just like hugging me but like laughing because he doesn't know what's wrong. So he's just like nervously like, why are you crying? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm crying. Just leave me alone. He'll just be hugging me. And, like,
That's
laughing.
a loving husband right there.
Honestly. Like,
That nervous laughter.
he's so cute. He's so cute. He just hugs me and just laughs.
He's laughing like there's going to be cameras that are going to pop out at any moment.
Yeah. No, and then he makes like a funny joke about something and like takes it, like takes the focus away from
that's
crying.
good. Yeah, you need someone that makes you laugh. You need someone that makes you laugh. That's so important in any relationship. Who do you think you make Sebas laugh more, or do he makes you laugh more?
I think Sebas makes me laugh more, like intentionally, with the jokes that he the jokes that he like makes, but I do it like unintentionally by doing stupid things like this morning. But he says I'm funny. Like when I ask him, I'm just like, what do you love about me? He always be like, I like that you're funny. So he thinks I'm funny.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, funny looking.
because you're not.
I think you're funny.
Thank you.
Funny looking.
Whatever.
Everybody's like, tweeting. Nah, you're funny, dude.
But that's what I think, I don't know. Do you make Betsy laugh more?
Yeah. We make each other laugh. We make
Yeah.
each other laugh. I think I definitely am the very humorous one. And I like how over the years Betsy's been picking up on that, and now she's like been making her own jokes and jabs.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes she goes a little overboard sometimes.
Does it make you feel bad?
We do like I have a joke about Betsy sometimes where and she knows this, or like we're like joking, we're talking about something, right? We're cracking jokes at each other. And I was like, you're so you're so goofy, whatever. She's wearing jeans, and I'm like, your blue jeans head ass. And she's like, well, that's why you're a little bitch. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like,
I love that.
what? And I'm just like, I'm not a little bitch. It's like crying. She's like, did that work? And I'm like, no, it didn't work. You gotta keep working on your jokes.
Because it was really funny.
Gotta work. No, I wasn't.
Aww.
Yeah. But man, it's so interesting because like my siblings and I and my family, like in any group of people that we're in, they would consider that individual in our family like the funniest person that they know. So my sister's friends, they all think she's so funny, and my dad, everyone thinks my dad's so funny. My mom, my brother, myself. But then we have our own ranking system within our family.
Yeah.
Of like who's funny, and my mom's like always dead last. We just straight up ranked my mom
always the last one.
Yeah, she was like, "What? But everybody thinks I'm so funny." I'm like, "You funny, mom, but not really." We kind of.
So who's the funniest? Is it between you and your dad? Richard, so you just started recording.
I did that one and I forgot.
Anyway, so I
recorded. So my family, they tabulate.
Yeah.
If you notice something weird about the audio, it's because I forgot to record. I did something new, which was let me record the camera and let me put record on the camera, and I forgot to re-record on the audio.
But I mean, it's okay. What Richard said was that his sister and him are tied first.
First, yeah. Oh Lord, it's my worst nightmare, dude.
That's the funniest thing though, like, cause like. That's so funny because you tried to do something helpful.
And then I fucked it all up, dude. A classic case of stay in your fucking lane, dude.
That's so funny though.
Yeah, so I got up to help Jessie because she's got this microphone blocking her, and she always has to maneuver it out of her way. So I'm just like, let me just go ahead and turn the camera on for her. And I came back and I forgot to turn on the audio. And so I'm just like getting this whole story, and then I look and I'm like, the shit's not recording. God dang.
But the funniest part is that you didn't even tell me anything. You just
I just looked at it.
You just press record and let me hear
guys,
the tick.
Yeah, guys don't want to admit their mistakes. If that tick wasn't there, I would have never told you about it. Never said anything. You would have been so confused.
I just saw the TikToks that you sent me like years ago.
Yeah, back in July. Yeah. No. Which ones?
There was one about Encanto is like a magical realism movie, and the reason it's like a magical one is because it's, or what's it? What is it?
Because Abuelita's never.
Oh, because she admitted that she was wrong.
Yeah, I know. Abuelas never do that, and that's why it's magical. That's why it's a fiction. So funny, dude. I love magical realism. We should let some people know about like our little music shits that we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Okay. So I have a song coming out in March. The date is not set yet, but it's coming out, and there's gonna be really fun videos and things that are involved with the promotion of that. And Richard produced the song, and we co-wrote it together. So it's honestly a banger. It's like, it's going to be a hit. I have like no doubt about it.
Super fucking smash hit,
whether
dude.
it's like right away or in a couple of years, but it's definitely like,
it's gonna blow the fuck up.
It is gonna blow the fuck up. It's so good, and I know you guys are all gonna relate to it in some way. We've been working on it since literally June, July, so it's been like almost like a year of us working on this. So I'm excited to like just share it with everybody because nobody knows what I've been doing. I've like deleted all my stuff on socials to just like create a new image and a new sound. So I'm excited for you guys to see this and like just reintroduce myself. So I'm really hoping I can do shows in the summer. But yeah, that's it. Just a new song, and new music will be coming out after that. You know, I'm just gonna keep
so much new music. Jessie's been collaborating with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
And all sorts of genres too.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Which has been really, really nice to be able to just kind of like dip my toes in everything.
Yeah, get back into the scene, dude.
Yeah.
It's be a splash. I think you're really shaking off a lot of that. You're shaking off your old image.
Yeah.
You know, and she's doing it in a big way. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you, dude.
Thank you.
But yeah,
tell them what you have coming up, because you also have a lot of things coming up.
I got a lot of things. So I recently learned how to play guitar. I finally learned the G chord. So I have I have a whole album already mixed. I'm gonna get it mastered. Making a music video very soon. I have a meeting on Saturday. Gonna be going on tour with Gabacho in April. I got a show in February at the end of the month. Just busy. And really want to make sure that this record goes into the right hands.
Yeah.
You know, go publicist style and really like blow it up and, you know, eventually live off of this shit.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And we're writing a new song together right now, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And I've been like producing some new songs with some other artists and some rap songs. It's cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really, really good. His album is so good.
Thank you, dude.
The show that you did in October was like beautiful. Like,
thank you, dude.
that was one of the best experiences I think I've had at a concert ever. And
Wow,
the fact that I was able to like bring friends to like experience it with them, so it was cool because like I was like looking and like just like experiencing what your performance, but then also I was like a little kid like looking at my friends to see what they're thinking.
Yeah.
You know, like to see like but they were all like, of course I had no doubt that they would love it, but it was just like cool to see their reactions.
That they're enjoying it.
Like, what the fuck, this is really good, because I think they thought that I was like, so only 2 of them knew that I sang well, you know, that I was like I was actually good, and then all the rest had just met me, so they were just like, well, we don't know what the fuck, you know, we don't know what she thinks is good, you know.
Yeah.
So they're coming in here like thinking that I don't know shit, you know, but to see them like be like, oh shit, like this is fucking good. This is so good. It was like really fulfilling for me to see that, to be like, I know him.
Yeah, for the show in February, I'm thinking about like really adopting like a character and just like performing it. It's going to be for a very different type of audience.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be at Shuba's, which is a beautiful venue.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really excited about that. But it's going to be in front of a lot of, I think, besides the people that I bring, it's going to be in front of a lot of white people. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what that means. I feel like it's going to be my first chance to like break into like a North Side scene with this project. And I really want to make a statement with it and be deliberate and intentional about what that looks like.
Yeah.
What's nice is because I've done it already, right? And so like the things that because I know what I'm doing and it just needs to be me up there. Yeah. I can fucks with other things, you know what I mean? And I don't have to rely on anything other than just the performance. So I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling pumped.
That's awesome. I did not know that you were going to have that show, and that's really like for me it's also nerve-wracking. I don't know if it is for you, but for me it's nerve-wracking like performing in front of white people. And And I don't know if it's because I feel like they won't understand me, but I just feel like, I don't know, for some reason I feel like they want to hear Sweet Caroline, and that's it. And like, you know, like when we went to Wisconsin, I was like, what the fuck is, like, they're not going to want to hear Selena, but they were really receptive to it.
Yeah, they were.
So, like, I was just like, okay, you know, like, music is music, like.
Yeah, people fucks with it, man.
They don't care like what language it's in. They don't care if you look a certain way. Like, music is music. They love it no matter what.
Yeah, and especially if you're vibing, you know, if you're telling a story. You know, like I think about some of the most provocative kind of artists that I really enjoy. Like I'm a big fan of George Clinton and Parliament Funk, and you know, if it like he was doing this thing where white people really enjoyed what he was doing because he was just going all out. Yeah. And then at the same time, black people respected him because he made the fucking jams, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm really inspired, but you know, it's just about taking those steps.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
Because I feel like I've been doing everything not in a vacuum, because that second show I played was really nice because it was a lot of strangers, but they were all Latinos. Yeah. You know, so I was just like, or most of them, or Latino connected, so they knew the vibes. You know the fucking vibes. And so this will be interesting. I'm gonna see if it translates.
Yeah. It's exciting. I know. It's really exciting. It's really exciting.
We're at an hour.
Yeah,
dude.
We are. We thank you guys so much, and we can't wait to like just announce all of these things we have so many big things coming up. I'm like so excited to announce a lot of things. So
yeah, dude.
We're doing it.
Bye, dudes.
Bye.
Let me make sure I turn off everything correctly now.